Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube, and I say welcome to my Snacks 123 channel on Rumble. Welcome again. And so today, guys, I'm going with some military content. And so today, what I want to briefly discuss is the qualifications to become an infantryman in the United States Army. Again, the qualifications to become an infantryman in the United States Army. All right. Basic overview. In order to become a infantryman in the United States Army, the requirements: number one, first you need to be a United States citizen. Second, you need to have a high school diploma or a GED equivalent. And let's see, third, you have to be in, you got to be in good physical and mental health. And you also have to pass a rigorous physical exam and have a passing ASVAB score. The minimum required for infantry, the minimum is 31 in the United States Army. And in the United States Army, 31 is the minimum ASVAB, passing ASVAB, score. Now, obviously, in different career fields or MOSs, that's the acronym, military occupational skill in the Army. Depending on the career field, you would have to. It's going to have higher minimum, standards. So don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? It's just in this particular career field, that is the minimum, score. But as I've always said in other videos that I do pertaining to the military, regardless of whatever branch of service, always try to shoot to max out, the max amount of points. Obviously, a perfect score is 100, you know what I'm saying? But try to get the highest, that you can. And so that way, you'll ensure yourself, a job in the Army. Because what happens if you have a bunch of applicants that go for infantry and say they make it into infantry, right? But their scores are much higher. Well, then you're going to be the odd man out, And if the Army or any other branch of the military does not have, say, a job for you, say if the career field that you're designated for and that you're going for, say if it's too full, right? The option would be either they can try to move you to another career field, say into a pool with those that have lower scores in a different career field, or if they don't have a spot for you anywhere in, this is with any branch of service, I don't care if it's Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, whatever. If they don't have a spot for you and there's no job openings, then you would go on to what is known as delayed enlistment program, DEP. And so basically delayed enlistment, is where you're waiting, to get a slot, It's basically a job opening, in that particular branch of service. And then what'll happen, you have a set date and you just basically remain on the civilian side with whatever you're doing. You keep doing that, while you await, to get a specific date, from that branch of service. But like, hey, all right, this is your date, to go into basic training. But anyway, just some background, some stuff that you need to know. So never shoot, And for those that are in the military, never shoot, for the bare minimum. I don't care what it is. If it's your physical fitness test, don't go for the minimum, because if you go for the minimum, you're putting yourself at risk to possibly, get put out. Don't go for the minimum. Always shoot, to try to max out. Get the maximum level points of whatever you're going to do while you are in the military. Trust me, I know. I'm retired, so I got the experience to prove it. Anyway, let's see. Also, you will also undergo one station unit training. Acronym for it is OSUT. It's a 22-week combined basic combat training and AIT program. AIT in the Army is the Air Force will call it what is it? We call it, the Air Force will call it tech school. um, what is the Marines calls it AAIT also, or maybe some additional advanced training. And the Navy, I forgot the name that they call it, but for the Navy, it's like let me see, SKT skills. It's something like that, but I'll figure out what the acronym is for the Navy and the Coast Guard. But basically, every branch of service has that. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna have after you finish basic training in any branch of service, you will either follow on. You know what I'm saying? To what's known as advanced individual training. That is what the Marines and the Army call it. Air Force calls it tech school. Navy and Coast Guard call it something different, but it is the exact same thing. And to prove that, there are certain military recruits that go in from different branches of service, and sometimes an individual from another branch of service may attend, a sister services training school because they've taken the same training. You know what I'm saying? So that saves the government money rather than each branch setting up separate training schools for the same exact career field. They just titled it differently. So just something to consider, guys. You know what I'm saying? But yes, so you go into basic combined basic combat training and advanced AIT, or if you want to say tech school. You know what I'm saying? For technical training for your specific job. Now, in some cases, some career fields, as I've said before in other military videos, some career fields in any branch of service do not require you going to advanced individual training or say a tech school. You know what I'm saying? Some just go after you finish basic training and graduate. You go directly to your duty station and you do what is known as direct duty assignment. So that means that's basically going straight from basic training, and once you graduate and you go to do your job and you learn hands on. So you don't need additional technical training for these particular skills. You can learn these, OJT, on the job training. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's look at this here. Okay. Basic eligibility, U.S. citizen. Now, for those that, say if you're a foreign national or something like that, and you want to become a United States citizen, from what I understand, and I served with some guys like this. I guess it's kind of like earning your citizenship, provided you meet the requirements and you can gain entry and enlist into United States Armed Forces. What you can do, you can serve in the military for, let me see, is it 4 or is it 8 years? It may be, I think it's between maybe 4 or 8 years. And what'll happen, the armed forces will have you serve stateside, in a stateside location, not overseas, not OCONUS. You know what I'm saying? CONUS is known continental United States, and OCONUS is basically overseas. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing these acronyms out there to help you guys get a better understanding. But what'll happen for foreign nationals that are wanting to get their citizenships in the United States legally, obviously, other than that, you can't join the military. You can serve basically for your citizenship. You give Uncle Sam a certain amount of time. I think is it 4 or 8 years? I'll have to double check on that, but I think it may be either 4 or 8 year term. And what'll happen, you automatically, boom, you know what I'm saying, go from your green card to becoming a U.S. citizen. So that's a pathway, you know what I'm saying, for those that may be foreign nationals and you really want to serve in the military, and also you're looking for a pathway to become a United States citizen, provided you meet all requirements. You know what I'm saying? This is an opportunity. But yeah, so you got to be a U.S. citizen, obviously, education wise. You know what I'm saying? And this is for both foreign or either, you know what I'm saying, regular U.S. citizens. High school diploma, GED. I'm quoting this again. Now the age range must be between 17 to 39. So the Army obviously has changed its age requirements, probably because I guess their quotas might be low and they may need more qualified applicants. So they probably, in a sense, might have lowered their standards slightly so they can get, you know what I'm saying, qualified applicants. Normally, the age range was between 17 to 35 across the board for every branch of service. But I guess with the problems they may be having with qualified applicants, maybe they decided to extend the age range to get more suitable candidates. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 35 to 39, 4 years. You know what I'm saying? If the candidate, meets all the requirements, physical, and mental, and they provide and have the particular talent and teachable, hey, you know what I'm saying? The Army will take them. I will have to go through the age requirements for the other branches of service, and I will bring that to you later. But age is between 17 to 39. All right. Now, in terms of medical, you can't have any disqualifying medical conditions. You generally have to have good health, okay, and be able to pass a physical exam. You know what I'm saying? If any of you guys want to check it out, you know what I'm saying, you can go to the website, goarmy.com website, you know what I'm saying, and I think they say Quora, but I would go to goarmy.com website. So what I'll do, I'll drop the link in the description, so you can check it out. Now, let me explain something to you guys about the military and how they pick, for their population. The United States Armed Forces is unique. The population of the United States military is unusually healthy, meaning that in the armed forces you don't have, for the most part, people with deformities, stuff that, everybody pretty much, is healthy. 2 hands, 2 feet, blah, blah, blah. No crazy health conditions. Now, the only exceptions to that might be, say, if you had a serviceman or servicewoman and say they got injured, while on duty. You see what I'm saying? Then that's different. But going in, you have to be completely healthy, and you can't have certain health conditions. Other than that, Uncle Sam, they'll reject you. They'll say you're unfit for service. And believe you me, Uncle Sam, the military is cold with it. They gonna bring you down to MEPS, and they gonna check you out. There have been some people, the military at one time was so picky that they still look at people that have flat feet. Now, there's some people that have flat feet that can still go into the military. And with the armed forces, understand one thing. For those of you that want to go in, and even for those of you that may be in, there is a waiver, for everything. For everything, there's a waiver. What a waiver is, that's an exception to policy. And so, but you got to have the right medical and the right documentation to substantiate your case and proof, prove to them, to a board, why you would be fit to serve in the military. And for those that are in, you know the deal. You have to provide proof that that you still can serve, and why you should remain, in service, why they can use you, and why, you're worthy of keeping. You see what I'm saying? So, but there's a waiver for everything. So, just something heads up. And I think in a couple other videos, I said that for be mindful with like diabetes, high blood pressure, and there's other certain types of conditions that will keep you from being worldwide qualified. Worldwide qualified means that if Uncle Sam wants to send you to Timbuktu, anywhere from Timbuktu, to the North Pole in Antarctica to go, he needs to know that he can put you anywhere and you're a useful asset. Jason Bourne, anybody? But and it's an exchange. So understand something. If Uncle Sam considers you an asset or a government issue, make sure you take advantage of the opportunities that the armed forces offer you, because the government is going to get their use, out of you. So you might as well make sure you get your use out of them. Get your benefits, and take advantage of it. And then when you get out, when you become a veteran, don't leave nothing on the table. If it's a crumb as a veteran, you go get it. If it as a military member, if it's a crumb, you go get it. Don't you leave nothing on the table, because when it comes to you serving Uncle Sam or in the military, no branch of service is going to leave. When it comes to you, they want their full use out of you. You see what I'm saying? So you take, whatever you are entitled to, you take it. Don't you leave nothing on the table. Take it. You know what I'm saying? Get yours. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to get theirs out of you. And when it's time for you to separate or retire, it's going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it was nice, you know what I'm saying? But this party's over. And your replacement, trust me, is coming in. You see what I'm saying? Your replacement is in basic training or they on their way. You see what I'm saying? When you move out, you know what I'm saying? You got another replacement of the same rank and grade to replace you, you know what I'm saying, in your duties. So trust me, they ain't hurting. And if they ever get to the point where they're hurting, then they can try to extend, you know what I'm saying, your enlistment in the military. Trust me, they're going to do what's best for them. So you bet any of you guys that are in or any of you that plan on going in, you better learn that and know that now. You know what I'm saying? You better take, if you decide to serve in the military, you better take full advantage of what opportunities are available. You know, follow the rules, be disciplined, and do what is best for you. All right, so let's see. Let's go on. Let's see. Physical weight. You know what I'm saying? You got to meet the height and weight standards. You see what I'm saying? And you can't be grossly overweight. You know, the military don't play that mess. You know what I'm saying? Certain branches of service may allow you to maybe carry a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I would probably say maybe the Navy might a little bit because, you know, of the nature, but even they ain't letting you get away. You can't, they call it being a chunky chicken. You know what I'm saying? You know, in any branch of service, you just can't be unfit and out of shape and roll around in uniform, you know, looking sloppy. That's the military don't play that. You know, they have standards, you know what I'm saying? And also they have an image, you know, to uphold, and you are the representation of that. You may be the only military member that some civilian may see on the outside. And if they see that the military is full of people that's sloppy and, you know, unfit and out of shape, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to want to join that? You see what I'm saying? And so you got to keep yourself in shape and you have to take care of your health, you know what I'm saying? And they will get on. That is part of your job. You know what I'm saying? And if you do not maintain your fitness standards, you know what I'm saying, height and weight, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff, BMI, you can get in trouble for that and even get discharged for that. So that is part of your job to stay in shape, you know what I'm saying? You can't be unfit and then if they deploy you, you know what I'm saying, what happens, you know what I'm saying, you get in a certain situation and because you unfit, you know what I'm saying, something happened to you. You see what I'm saying? Or it costs you your life, you know what I'm saying? Or it could cost others, you know what I'm saying, to get injured or unalive. You see what I'm saying? Because you didn't keep your fitness standards up. And there's other reasons, you know what I'm saying? But the military don't play that. So if you're considering joining the armed forces, you know what I'm saying, and you know that you're overweight, start now. Start getting that weight down and start getting in shape. It'll give you a smoother transition going through basic training. And all the branch of service now, they gonna run you to death. You know what I'm saying? They gonna run you working out and you gonna run. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Army and Marines, and even now all the other branches, Air Force, all of them now, they got a lot of training standards that are similar. You know what I'm saying? So Air Force, yeah, you gonna run too. You know what I'm saying? In all the branches of service, you gonna run. You gonna run, you know, either the Navy, I don't know, they may put you in the pool, but in the Navy, you running. You know what I'm saying? So you're not getting around, working out. You know what I'm saying? Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, you know what I'm saying? And the run, you know what I'm saying? And in some cases, some may even add swimming, you know what I'm saying, to the fitness standard, you know? So, if you know the military does require you, it is mandatory that you work out, and you're gonna have to stay in shape. Straight up, you know what I'm saying. Next, legally, you know what I'm saying, you can't have a history of any serious law violations, no felonies. You know what I'm saying, no felonies. You know what I'm saying. Uncle Sam does not want to invest. You know what I'm saying, and having felons disqualifies you from active duty military. Now, I know there are certain cases where, depending on what you got a felony for, you know, sometimes some felonies ain't warranted, and you can have them expunged from your record. So, I would still, you know what I'm saying, if you happen to have felonies, See if you can get it expunged from your record, and don't give up on military service. It depends what the felony is. Some things they can get expunged, boom, and that's out of the way, and you can go on in. So I would not, don't give up, because of that. But you definitely want to keep your nose clean, keep a clean record. That is the one thing with the government, Keep your nose clean, before you go in, keep it clean while you are in serving. Those of you that are in right now, keep your nose clean if you want to keep your career. And, even after you get out, keep your nose clean, because just because you retire or you leave the military, if you want to keep your veterans benefits, your honorable discharge and the benefits that come with it, you don't want to get in any trouble, especially after putting all that work in, then you're going to come out the military and do something crazy and, get in trouble, after you've been, you made it out of that stuff. So don't do anything foolish, but, ladies and gentlemen, keep your nose clean if you want to have a successful military career. And if you're thinking about going, stay out of trouble. Keep it clean, guys. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let me see. Is there anything else? Let me see. Okay, obviously mental fortitude, infantry work, mentally and physically. Yep, it is demanding, and it does require mental toughness. And so you got to maintain focus and make good decisions. Obviously, physical fitness. Yep. You need to be physically active, able to endure demanding physical activity. That is correct. And you'll be tested on push-ups, sit-ups, and running, which I already said, Let's see, obviously the ASVAB score. Let's see, the combatant ASVAB subtest is a key indicator of infantry rules. That is a fact. Minimum score of 31 is what is required. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Obviously, one station unit training. Okay, specialized training. It combines basic training and advanced individual training, AIT. And this school, in this combination, it lasts for 22 weeks, guys. So 22 weeks, what do we got? We got about 5 or 6 weeks per month. So 1, 2, 3. That's about, I would say about maybe 3.5 months, something like that, maybe 3.5 months, 4 months tops, but about 3.5 months, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, specialized training after one station unit training. Let's see, infantrymen, you might receive additional training in certain areas, such as airborne operations, air assault, operating vehicles like the Bradley tank and the Strikers, baby. I know about that, baby. When, we was in Iraq, man, we had the Strikers and the Bradley tanks. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to they was up on the front line, first up on the front line, you know what I'm saying? When them prisoners or detainees was getting unruly. Getting ready to try to overrun the farm. It was getting ready to get wicked, baby. Yeah, shout out, you know what I'm saying? To my Army guys, Army ladies and gentlemen, shouts out to you, Shouts out, salute to you. And to my ladies, servicemen and women in the Army that's handling the Bradleys and the Strikers, baby. Yes, indeed. But anyway, that's my spiel, for this. But what I hadn't really thought about that. I will look and see what I can find as it pertains to the military and say felonies, you know what I'm saying? What are the waivers and under what conditions, can those felonies be expunged and waived, so individuals can go into the military, anything is possible, and anything is possible with God. And anything is possible, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes people do, make mistakes, and sometimes some people can get a raw deal on something that they never should have got a felony for, and it should have been a misdemeanor. And some felonies can be downgraded to a misdemeanor, you know what I'm saying? So I'll take a look at that, and I'll come back, you know what I'm saying, see what I find and report on it. But anyway, guys, this right here was the qualifications to become an infantryman in the United States Army. And also, man, I forgot to mention this. I also, I'm just throwing this in as caveat. I also have a website where I'm selling the 5 best weight loss products. So I'll leave the link to my website, in the description. So if you want to lose weight, lose fat, lose belly fat, get in better shape, and lean out, I recommend that You buy the products, you know what I'm saying? Also, share the link and website with others. Share it, so they can buy, you know what I'm saying, and take care of their health. Next to God, the next best thing you got is your health. And since you only have one body and we only have one life to live here, I suggest, you know what I'm saying, that take care of it, you know what I'm saying, because that's what, next to God, that's the next best thing we got. You lose your health, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got nothing. But anyway, guys, the name of my channel is Eric Broadus YouTube. That's EricBroadus YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. And so you can subscribe. Please subscribe. Smash the bell to become a subscriber. Turn on all the notifications. Hit the like button to like the video, unlike button to unlike it. Either way, leave a comment. Love the dialogue with you, and maybe you have some additional information that you'd like to share that can help myself and others out. Also I have my Rumble channel, Snacks, SNAKZ123 on Rumble. So please go over there likewise, subscribe, hit the like button to like the videos, hit the unlike button if you don't like it. Either way, leave a comment. Love to dialogue with you over there too, and exchange information, if you got something to add, And I also have a Snacks Thoughts podcast, SNAKZTHOUGHTS, Snacks Thoughts podcast. And you can find it on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Radio PDM, and a host of other social media outlets. So please, check out, my podcast on Snacks Thoughts, But you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Spreaker, Snacks Thoughts, Facebook, Check me out, guys. And like I said, the 5 best weight loss products, Check it out, links in the description. And that's all I have on this one, guys. Peace out, and I will catch you on the next one later.